Let's see. Here we have the two components that we can toggle between grid and table, but we don't have any data, right? So let's add some data so we can render here, right? So let's have here as part of the state of the overall manager, course manager, keep track of certain courses, right? So maybe this would be courses, and then the array could be multiple courses. So this might be maybe an ID with maybe a title of course A. And let's create a couple of these. So this is A, B, B, C, D, and E. And this will be uniques. Okay. So we could, pass this state information. We can pass it down to other components, right? So for instance, we can pass to the course table and the course grid component. We can pass the as attributes. We can pass, for instance, courses. And we can pass references to state variables that live here in the parent component. We can say pass this dot state dot courses. Okay, and we can do the same thing with the other one, the grid component, right? Now this gets passed down to the function, that it's right here. So it gets passed right here. So you can access the value of when this was instantiated, right? And it passes the attribute over here. It'll pass a map. So notice that components can have any number of attributes, right? Let's make this a little more readable. Something like that. So here we're passing the courses, right? And you can have any number of attributes you can pass, right? So you get what you get here is a map. You get an attribute map. A map of attributes, name value pairs, where the keys of the map will be these names of the attributes, and the values will be whatever you passed along. Yes, right. So right now we have these attributes. So I could, for instance, access these attribute maps, and notice that I'm using the curly bracket. The curly bracket, allows you to, or as an escape sequence, right? It allows you to say, oh, I'm in HTML. Let me go a second to JavaScript, and then go back to HTML, and then go back to JavaScript, and then go back to HTML. You can mix and match literal strings for HTML, and then expressions, JavaScript expressions, right? So anything that is inside of a curly bracket, are JavaScript expressions. Yes.
Or if you want to display curly bracket, what's the
It's backtick. Yeah. So we have attribute map, and what's in here? Well, all the keywords, all the keys inside of that map are the names of the attributes. So I could say courses here, dot courses. That's an array, right? And I can say the length of that array. Right? So if I go back, notice that if I go to table, notice that it says 5. Right? So that's being injected, right, as part of the H1 or H2. Yes. But notice that it's not being injected into the grid, right? Only the table has it, right? Because we injected it here. Now it might be that this attribute map has a lot of properties. It could be that you pass, I don't know, 10 different properties. Yes. It'd be very cumbersome to have to do, attribute map dot property, attribute map dot property 2, attribute map dot property 3, right? Right. So, and all its wisdom, ES6 wants to make that easier, right? It wants to make it so that you don't have to type so much, right? So what it does is that instead of doing that over and over and over, right, you can do an extract of those properties that you care about right away at the beginning. You can say, extract for me the courses from the map that you're sending me, right? Extract from that map that you're sending me these properties and make them available in local variables, right? Called courses. So I can no longer, I don't need to prepend with the map name. Make sense? So this is, again, another brand new syntax, right, to make things easier and make you more productive, right? So if you go back, notice that, this renders just the same. Everybody good? All right. Yes.
If you're adding more properties, you have to put them all. Did it all just get in that one line? Like
In that, no, you can put it in separate lines. You can say comma.
They have to go there.
Yes, they'll all be part of that curly thing.
Yeah.
Yes, and also it could be in any order, right? Because they have a name, right? And they match the name,
Yeah.
right? That's also a nice thing. Instead of a function, you have to specify things in the order that you want, right? When you use this operator, they can be in any order because it's a map, which is also a nice feature. Okay.